You are now in the zone, and I'm your host, Chris Josh. This is episode number 2, and I'll continue discussing the 10 pillars of an unstoppable mindset. If you haven't checked out episode 1, I advise you to check it out because there I list the first 5 pillars of an unstoppable mindset. Number 1 was cessation of complaining. Number 2, unconditional patience. Number 3, gratitude. Number 4, detachment. And number 5, acceptance of your reality. On this episode, I'll be discussing pillars number 6 through 10. Now, let's get into it. Pillar number 6, and these are all according to me, based on my experience and my success. Number 6 is strong desire. To have an unstoppable mindset, you must have a strong desire. And usually that strong desire leads you to make a firm decision. I'm going to be using the gym and dieting as a relatable example because chances are you've tried losing a few pounds, you've tried building muscle at one point or another, or you may be doing that now. Ultimately, to start working out or to start dieting, you had to have looked in the mirror and decided because you had a strong desire to look better, feel better. So you made that firm decision. You put your foot down and you said, that's it, I'm doing this. When you do that, you allow yourself to at least work towards that goal and try to accomplish it. That's the doorway into you asking the right questions. How have other people been successful at building muscle and losing fat? You start to educate yourself, right? So, strong desire. Now, this can branch out to different areas of your life. It doesn't only apply to the gym and working out or dieting, I should say, but it can be a strong desire to start a business, right? It's one thing to casually tell yourself, it would be nice if I had a business, or I wish I had a business, as opposed to saying, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm deciding. You may not say I'm deciding. You may not say that, but that's what you're doing. And that is the thing that's going to separate you from the people who dream, right? The people who dream sadly never decide. And that's all it really takes. And the reason why I'm expanding on this pillar is because it's a very, very important pillar. Because if you want to continue on the path that you're on right now, by all means, don't make any decisions. But if you want to change your life, you must start making new decisions that are going to propel you forward and move you towards those goals. And now I'll be moving to pillar number 7, which is laser focus. This kind of plays hand in hand with a strong desire. Once you have a strong desire and you've made a decision, you're going to want to stay focused, right? Because if you want a better body, you know what needs to be done. And you can't let anyone take you off your course. Whether that's a spouse, a partner, a family member, a friend, they may try to guilt trip you and say, come on, you never eat with us. You always go to the gym. Why don't you take a day off? To have an unstoppable mindset, you must have laser focus, right? Tunnel vision. You got to know what your goal is and what your daily actions should be to get to that goal. And that means letting the people around you know that you cannot interfere with my goals. This is what I've set out to do. Either you support me or you get out of my way, right? Now, that sounds a little harsh. You could word it in a different way. but you got to let people know that you have set out to accomplish something and you're not going to let anything or anyone get in the way. So that's number 7, laser focus. Moving on to number 8, the 8th pillar. And now these are not in order, by the way. Okay. The 8th pillar is discipline, right? Now, naturally, if you've already followed pillar number 1 and you stopped complaining, you followed pillar number 2, you have unconditional patience. Pillar 3, gratitude. Pillar 4, detached. Pillar 5, accepted your reality. Pillar 6, the strong desire. Pillar 7, your laser focus. And now pillar 8, discipline. If you followed all the other pillars, discipline will not only seem natural, but it will feel part of who you are. You won't have to force it because you have unconditional patience. You have this desire. You've detached from the pain and the aches, right? You are grateful to be where you are in life. You've accepted life as it has played out and as it is right now. So it's only a matter of reminding yourself of that desire, reminding yourself you're a focused individual, and just showing up. That's it. If you're supposed to go to the gym today, but you feel a little achy and it's not, life-threatening, it's not so bad, you don't have to go to the ER because of it, then practice pillar number 4, detachment. Detach from the pain and the aches and the soreness and just get there. Don't complain. Pillar number 1, cessation of complaining. Don't complain. Don't sigh and say, I got to go work out, right? Just go with a clear mind and get it done. That's it. No excuses. And the good news is, if you're just starting out, all of this gets a lot easier. You won't even feel like you're using discipline to get to the gym or to stay on your diet. It just becomes part of who you are. It becomes your lifestyle. And that's one key thing to know, is that over time, you adapt to all of this workload and these changes, and you won't have to be struggling and wrestling with life to stay disciplined. You just merely have to set that alarm clock or that reminder and just show up. That's it. All right, let's take a break with 10 fun random facts. Number 1, the shortest war in history. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 lasted only about 38 minutes. Wow, that's crazy. Number 2, a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. The term matches their vibrant color and graceful movements. Number 3, octopuses can taste with their arms. Their suckers are equipped with chemoreceptors that allow them to taste whatever they touch. Interesting. Number 4, butterflies can't fly when they're cold. They need to be at least 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 29 degrees Celsius to use their flight muscles. Number 5, believe it or not, cows have best friends. Studies show cows form strong social bonds and get stressed when separated. Number 6, a bolt of lightning is 5 times hotter than the sun. The temperature of lightning can reach 30,000 kelvins, while the sun's surface is only about 6,000 kelvins. That's 5 times more. Fun fact number 7. You're not going to believe this. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. This phenomenon is called the triple point, and it occurs at a specific temperature and pressure. What that is, I don't know. Fun fact number 8. Penguins propose with pebbles. Isn't that interesting? Male Adelie penguins present a pebble to their mate as part of their courtship ritual. Guys, how much easier would that be on our pockets? Just walk up to a random chick, say, hey, you want to get married? Here's a pebble. Unfortunately, we're human and we got to buy diamonds. Number 9, a day on Venus is longer than its year. What the hell? Venus takes about 243 Earth days to rotate once, but only 225 Earth days to orbit the sun. That's weird. Fun fact number 10, and this is the last one. There's a species of jellyfish that's immortal. Now, I'm going to try to pronounce this right. The species is called Turritopsis dohrnii. It can revert to its juvenile form, which essentially avoids death from old age. Those were the 10 fun random facts, and let's get back into the episode. Now, number 9 is delayed gratification. This is the 9th pillar, and again, these are not in order. But delayed gratification kind of goes hand in hand with unconditional patience. There are some things that can be done within a minute. Some things can be done within a few hours. But there are some things that take months, like writing a book. It can take months, years. A really experienced author who's working around the clock may be able to get a book done in a month. But they're not going to get it done in a day unless it's a short ebook. Losing weight. If it were a matter of just starving yourself, all we would have to do is stop eating for a day or two and we'd lose 10 pounds of fat. But that's not possible. If building muscle just required you to be in the gym for 8 hours on your first and second day, and now you've gained 10 pounds of muscle, everyone would be doing that. But what ends up happening with most people, and I discuss this in my book, The Winning Habit, most people look at a big goal and want to accomplish it in one day. And what they do is they go all out, burn out, crash out, and give up. I can't tell you how many people join the gym and then within 2 weeks, they quit. I never see them ever again. That's because a lot of people do too much too soon and they're not able to adjust to that new workload. So it's very important to be realistic regarding your goals. How long is this going to take? Now, when it comes to body transformation, you're looking at 3 months. Okay? It will be 90 days before you see noticeable changes within your body. And that means you've been dieting correctly and you've been working out consistently and doing the exercises properly. I can't tell you how many people go to the gym, and I'm not trying to criticize people, but some people will go to the gym for a year and have no improvements, and it's because they haven't researched how to do exercises properly. People are in the gym doing quarter reps, half reps. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing 12 sets of one single exercise, and they don't see any gains because they don't learn the process. Okay? So that's it. Pillar number 9, delayed gratification. You need to be okay with working on that goal day in, day out, and not seeing any results for maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year. Okay? Every goal is different. Maybe something will only take you a week. But you need to get into the habit of having delayed gratification. Now, number 10 The 10th pillar is sort of, it's not intuitive, I guess. And you might think, well, why is this even on the list of an unstoppable mindset? But it's very important. And that is rest and regroup. Rest and regroup. You need to understand when you've hit your limit, and you don't want to go to failure every day. Meaning, you don't want to put 110% for 8 hours, exhaust yourself, and then rest. Because chances are you're not going to be able to physically and mentally recover. You need to hit the sweet spot, right? For example, instead of working out for 3 hours, why not work out for 40 minutes? Leave a little gas in the tank. And I'm not saying not to train intensely, but I'm saying not to train for too long because you're not going to recover and it's not sustainable. And again, referencing my book, The Winning Habit, I talk about how I wrote my first book and I was doing 2 pages a day. Now, at that time, I was at rock bottom with my life, and all of the details are in my other book, City of Serpents, which is my first book, which I'm talking about right now. I set out to write 2 pages a day. I felt like that's something I could accomplish on a daily basis. And even in the state of mind that I was in and, being in rock bottom, 2 pages, I was able to accomplish it on most days. It was challenging, especially because it was my first book, but I did just enough to make progress, but not burn myself out and feel like I have to repeat the process the next day. Imagine my goal was 10 pages a day. On my first day, I write 10 pages, and it takes me 8 hours. Well, the next day, I'm not going to feel like doing it because I'm going to remember the pain and the struggle and the hours required to write those 10 pages, right? That's just an example. And I may do it on the second day, but may not do it ever again. And I would quit, and my dream of writing my first book would be just a dream, right? But having read a fair amount of books throughout my life, I remembered most books were about 200 to 300 pages. So I figured 2 pages a day, if I write for 90 days, that's 180 pages. And I'm okay with that. That's still a respectable amount of pages. But of course, it wasn't only about the pages, it was about getting all the information across. So if that meant it was going to be more, then so be it. And that's what ended up happening. So that rest and regroup is so important. That's why when I work out, I'm 45 years old. When I work out, I only lift weights twice a week. Now that might be a little bizarre. I'm not Mr. Olympia, but I'm also, it looks like I work out, right? I do an upper body once a week and a lower body once a week. And there's always a 3 to 4 day or 2 to 3 day gap between the 2 workouts. That's fine. I never feel like I'm stressed out. I never feel like I'm chasing my workouts. I never feel like I'm exhausted to the point where I don't want to go again. But I do work out 6 days a week. On the 6 days a week, I do burpees. That's my thing, right? That's my thing. I've been doing them since March of 2021. I don't know exactly how many I've done so far. It's over, I think, 36,000. But don't quote me. It's definitely over 30,000 burpees. I do 3 sets of 11. Now, a lot of people, when they do burpees or start out, they try to go all in and they'll do 75, 100, 150, and they might do it for 1 day, 1 week, and that's it. I chose a rep range that's manageable and a number of sets that's also manageable, right? So I do those 6 days a week. I do abs 6 days a week, but I only lift twice a week. And all of this allows me to continue doing it day in, day out, week in, week out. I'm able to rest and fully regroup before the next session. And for example, today I worked out. When tomorrow comes and I like to work out very early in the morning, I don't feel like it's a chore. I don't feel like this is too much. I'm exhausted. Like I'm burned out. No, because I like to leave gas in the tank. So if you want to maintain an unstoppable mindset, you need to learn when to stop and rest and regroup. You cannot drive yourself into the ground because it's humanly impossible for like 99% of the people out there. I'm not saying it can't be done, but you could certainly push yourself 1% more each day and gradually build your tolerance for more work or build your capacity for more work. That's totally doable. But the 10th pillar is very important, and that is to rest and regroup. Once again, let me recap the 10 pillars for you. The 10 pillars of an unstoppable mindset. Number 1, cessation of complaining. Number 2, unconditional patience. Number 3, gratitude. Number 4, detachment. Number 5, acceptance of your reality. Number 6, strong desire. Number 7, laser focus. Number 8, discipline. Number 9, delayed gratification. And number 10, rest and regroup. I want to thank you for listening to this episode of In the Zone with Chris Josh. And be sure to follow the podcast and share it with your friends and family. Let them come in and learn a thing or two about everything related to mindset. And make sure you tune in for the next episode, which is called Overcoming Fear. Until next time, I'm your host, Chris Josh, and I'm signing out.